How we doing, my pals? That was a good wee live last night. A bit eventful, wasn't it? um, what was the odds? Somebody getting the nick right outside the front window, and we're sitting doing a live, not what I mean, about a crime channel. It's nuts, man. Um, my wee boy's no long back for his grandpa's. He was at his karate because he has to go on a Sunday now because he would go to karate on a Tuesday and a Thursday like myself, but the Tuesday and Thursday classes, there's no really people at my son's kind of skill level and age and all that. So the Sunday class, um, it's a lot more. It's a lot more of a challenge there for him. So he's had to be going to that one for the time being. But I'm just chilling today. I'm just watching Netflix and researching shit and all that. It's got to have a wee easy one. I've got a pot of honey garlic chicken on again, as you do. So somebody sent me a video, right, of a case, and it was quite, well, it was quite disturbing. And it was a poisoning case, right? And I don't know if any of you know this, but poisonings are rare. If you look at the data or any kind of research data for murder, you'll probably find that poisonings are like probably less than 1%, something like that. Don't know off the top of my head, but it's something like that anyway. So it's a pretty rare way to kill somebody. The fuck? Know what I mean? Anyway, in the case that I'm talking about, some of you might have seen it because the video cam footage of this person's arrest is all over the media right now, and it's actually pretty sobering watching it. So I'll give you a wee bit of backstory for those of you that might not have seen this. A woman, Virginia McCulloch from Essex, has been convicted on Friday of the murder of her mother and father. Now, obviously that's killing somebody's bad enough, right? But your mum and dad, your elderly parents, do you know what I mean? And the shocking lack of any form of emotion in this woman is just mind blowing. So the story, the evidence that was put in court was basically how that this woman, Virginia, had racked up all these debts on, I think it was her parents' credit cards, or she had somehow obtained credit cards in her parents' names. Fuck knows what she was racking up the debts for. But she, I believe, had been manipulating her parents, deceiving them, and kind of just being very, very economical with the truth. And this has resulted, her deceitful kind of manipulative behaviour has resulted in her murdering her parents in June 2019, so before I had even, like 3 months before I even got out of jail. And this is her just being convicted on Friday. So we're talking pre-COVID. And I dare say that the pandemic could probably have helped her cover up what she had done. Because obviously the whole fucking planet was shut down. You needed fucking permission to walk outside your, you know what I mean? Like, there was a lot of kind of health measures in place, right? So them being elderly and that, could have, shall we say, took long. It would have maybe have took longer for it to come to the attention of anybody. And I believe that Virginia was so say anybody would phone up and ask about the parents, she would say, oh, they're away on holiday, or oh, they're ill, do you know what I mean? So I imagine after a certain point in time, it's going to raise suspicions, because one thing I would never doubt is a pattern, or a break in a pattern. What I mean by that is, if you have a certain routine, a certain way of acting, and then you do something completely out of character, then to me that's a red flag. And I imagine this would have been the same in this case. So she had basically poisoned her 70, I think her dad was 76, and I think the mum was like 74 or something, but don't quote me. They were elderly anyway. And she poisoned her mum and her dad, right? But only the dad succumbed to the poisoning. And it wasn't like your kind of typical poisons, your more conventional poisons, if you want to call it that, like strychnine, fucking arsenic, whatever. She had poisoned them with medication. Now, the mother didn't die for the poisoning, so this fucking maniac had stabbed her mother and beat her with a hammer. And this was what was interesting to me, because they say in the literature that poisoning is like a passive aggressive like crime. In other words, you want to hurt somebody, but you're not doing it like in their face. Like you're kind of setting a timer to get away, so you don't see your handiwork and all that. They say that about bombing as well, but we'll not go there now, know what I mean? And I would have agreed with that assessment until I seen that she had bludgeoned her mum with a hammer and stabbed her to death. So she's clearly capable of physical violence. Because my first thought was, when I heard that she had killed the mother with a knife and a hammer and poisoned the dad, I initially thought maybe she had poisoned the dad because maybe she didn't think she was physically kind of capable of killing him, if you get me. Even though the guy's in his 70s, you just don't know with people, do you? But then that I'd read that she had poisoned both her parents with like a kind of cocktail of medication, but only the dad died it. So she'd kind of put her dad in a, say like a sleeping bag or something, in a cupboard in the ground floor of the property, and then put her mother behind a cupboard in an upstairs room in the same house. And she's living in this house. Now we're talking 2019, and she got arrested in September last year. She was living in that house with two dead bodies. Not just any two dead bodies, her mother and father. And to me that takes a special kind of person, like, to be able to function in day-to-day life knowing there's two dead bodies in your gaff, mate. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Cause you're racking up debts, credit cards, fucking, like, how do you get for, like, being manipulative and fucking spending people's credit cards? How do you jump for there? I don't care how much debt you're in. It's not as if you owe it to the fucking Sinaloa cartel, is it? And they're going to burn you alive. You probably owe it to fucking, I don't know, like, whatever, buying fucking shit you don't need, try to live a lifestyle you can't afford, like fucking a champagne wage on a beer budget or whatever it is they call it, do you know what I mean? Like, how the fuck do you jump for basically fleecing your parents to brutally killing them in their later years? Like, what is wrong with people, man? And this was the point that I wanted to kind of go on about, was how when the police forced entry into her parents' house, she was living in it. Now the house it did look in kind of disarray in a lot of places, like just kind of chaos, like shit was everywhere. Know what I mean? But the video cam footage, the arrest, she was just totally blasé, man. Like, she couldn't have been any calmer, mate. Some of yous probably would have seen it. And she's like, my dad's in that cupboard and my mum's upstairs in that cupboard. And then she's just been overly helpful with the investigation and putting it across, like, and she's saying, I deserve what's going to happen to me, I deserve to be punished for this, and all that shit. And then she said to the cop, cheer up, at least you've caught the bad guy. Like, that just to me smacks of pure narcissism or something. Like, you're telling a cop to cheer up, but you're the one that's under arrest for double murder of your mum and dad. Like, you're a few units short of a phone card, mate. And this was the clincher for me, right? She said, I deserve to be punished and go to prison and all that, and at least now it might give me some peace. Give me some peace. Now, I don't know if there was two ways to take that statement. Give her peace from something, or give her peace for what she done, but I highly doubt it was that. It was just such a flippant throwaway statement, the way she said it. Like, give me some peace, like, it's all about her. Know what I mean? Her mum and dad lying fucking weighed in the gaff, fucking behind walls, whatever it was, just so she could cover up the fact she owed fucking thousands of pounds. Know what I mean? Like, oh, now you'll get some peace, mate. Know what I mean? You've had it rough, spending all that fucking money you didn't have, and then murdering your own mother and father. So you'll be all right now, mate. The pure audacity, know what I mean? Makes you fucking sick, to be honest. But I just don't get people sometimes, know what I mean? How do you get to that point where that sounded like a good idea, or the answer to your problems? Not even just that, like, staying in a house with two dead bodies for what, 4 years or something? Aye, just over 4 years. Know what I mean? And the funny thing was, right, the only part of this whole process where I seen this woman show any flicker of emotion was when she was taken to the police station, right, and she was in a cell, a holding cell, whatever, and they were asking how her mum died or something, and she told them, she was like, oh, this is probably one of the grisly parts and all that, and and she started to go into detail about obviously how her mum had died, right? She'd fucking killed her with a hammer and a knife, and she's telling them where to find the knife, and she's even gone to the extent she's saying, you'll still find blood on it. there'll be she used the word, there'll be traces of blood on it. So I'm thinking straight away that she's got some sort of knowledge of forensics. Maybe it wouldn't be hard in this day and age with all these fucking CSI fucking programs, know what I mean? All this kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? But that was the only part I seen where she expressed any sort of emotions. So I'm wondering how you get to that point. She was sentenced to 36 years minimum tariff, so that means she has to serve at least 36 years before she can apply for parole, and you're no guaranteed parole after 36 years. It just means that's how long you need to wait before you can apply for parole. That son's name or nothing. But just a pure needless crime that didn't need to happen, know what I mean? Going and murdering your old man dad cause you're fucking in heavy debt. Sort yourself out. Fuck's sake, know what I mean? Brutal, man. But I wanted to I looked at a couple of things in my crime classification manual, but I was trying to find data on poisonings, but and kind of profile characteristics, but I couldn't really find anything that I thought would pertain to this case, because I think she just done it to spare herself the kind of, what do you want to call it, like the violence, but anyway, she ended up doing it anyway. But obviously I don't know, do you know what I mean? I'm just kind of making an educated guess, but just a fucking absolute tragedy, man. And obviously the things that's been going on, like, see, some people just have such a cavalier attitude towards death. It's quite fucking, it's just disturbing, man. Know what I mean? But good riddance to her, innit? Fuck's sake. Know what I mean? You'll be lucky to hear from her again. Do you know what I mean? But got to leave it there anyway. Cheers for all yous jumping on last night and that. I know it was actually a good laugh, man. I like doing the lives. I've not done one in about 3 months, 4 months, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's cause when I was doing them, I wasn't checking that there wasn't football, and then like there'd be football, and I didn't know, and then people would be watching football and all, so ended up just like, fuck that, you know what I mean? They don't want to do them all the time, then they kind of lost their what do you call it, novelty. But I hope you're having a good Saturday and that anyway. And I'll see you all next time I'm back on, right? Catch you, trips.